naval architecture and ocean engineering, contributing to both academic development and advanced marine studies. So yeah, we're truly grateful to have you all here. So hand over to Dr. Praveen.
Yeah, thank you, Ritika. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for showing interest in IIT Madras and in Department of Ocean Engineering. Before I start the presentation, I would like to know how many of you know this branch before. One, it is expected, so it's normal. Usually people doesn't know about Ocean Engineering Department and also naval architecture. Nobody would have heard of it before. So this is completely normal, and maybe this is also a problem for me. When I joined for bachelor's in naval architecture, so everyone is asking me about which branch did you join. I always reply that I joined naval architecture. Then you see a strange face, what is it? Without a clear face, right? So then I have to explain them what is naval architecture, and then I have to convince them it's not an architecture department, it is engineering department. We do engineering in naval architecture, but the architecture name has come from the past. So in this presentation, I'm going to explain what is naval architecture and what is ocean engineering, and then I'm going through all the department laboratory infrastructure, and I'll explain how they will function, and I'll also give you a brief placement introduction, like what are the companies that will come, what are your future scope that you have if you take this one. All right. So can anyone here, maybe 12 students, can tell me what is naval architecture? I want to hear from you. I want to do it like an interactive session, right? That will be more engaging. Even if it is wrong, it's fine. There is no right and wrong answers here. Yes, please. Related to ship?
Shipbuilding and
Shipbuilding, yes, true.
research of architecture of ships.
Yes, so let's not say architecture, as I mentioned, it's engineering. Architecture term has come because in past, they have drawn the ship shape by hand. They haven't used any engineering calculations. So that's why the name has come from in past, but usually, now we do engineering and we know precisely what shape it should be. We engineered that, okay? But you're right, it's shipbuilding, not only shipbuilding, but ship design, as well as we design for all the floating structures in ocean, in any water body, in lakes, inland, in rivers, right? Any water body, we try to design the floating bodies and fixed bodies in the ocean, right? So, another question. So, how much water is available on the earth? Again, for the students. Yeah, we forgot, we prepare for IIT and we forgot the 10th class, right? Or before that. So it's 71% approximately, 30% land. Among 70%, 97% of the water is from the ocean. And 2% or 1 to 2% is from icebergs, right? So now, thanks to climate change, that ice is also melting, it is coming into water. Slowly the ocean will conquer the land more, right? So 80% of the world trade is through the oceans. You can see the heat map of vessels that they are traveling across the continents, right? And recently we have an issue with Strait of Hormuz that was blocked, and then all the ships has to reroute, and all the economies have changed for the countries. So this branch have an influence also on rerouting and then design accordingly, right? And if you also look at the India map, we have a huge potential to tap. We have 11,000 kilometers of coastline. Previously it is said 7,000. Thanks to AI and satellites, they have gone through all the accurate mapping, and then they have increased from 7,000 to 11,000 kilometers. And then we have about 15,000, 20,000, I don't remember exact number, of inland waterways to navigate. If you go to Europe, usually you find a lot of ports and a lot of canals were made to have this inland navigation. That's how they have developed so fast in the last 500 years. But we used to do that, but for some reasons, we are lacking progressing for the inland navigation. But thanks to the present government, they are showing interest to improve the maritime sector, as shipbuilding as well as the inland navigation, right? So there's a huge scope in future to work on that and improve it for national infrastructure.
One small doubt.
Yes.
In the case of Strait of Hormuz, what is the any solution can be made by this naval architecture naval engineering in this department? I'm not saying that the diplomatic way.
Yes.
The
engineering point of view.
Yes, yes. From the point of view, the technology point of view, what is the out of the box thinking solution can be created by a tech from that department?
Yes. as a nation, we have to have an alternative solution. We are hugely relied on Middle East to get the LNG, right, and also petrol. So if in future this blockage happens again, then we have to reroute. One, either by land or by sea. We don't have any land connection. It's not also practical to use land. So what we have to do is that maybe using some subsea cables, subsea pipelines. That is one possibility. Yes.
That comes under ocean engineering?
Yes, subsea pipelines that comes under ocean engineering. I will explain also through next slides, the subsequent slides. But that is one solution. The other solution is, of course, rerouting the ships, making a new alternative.
But that again comes in the marine engineering or ocean engineering?
Thanks for raising this question. Many people also often confuse about marine engineering, naval architecture, ocean engineering, oceanography, marine sciences. There are many things related to this. So I will explain that first, probably. I will address that question now already. So naval architecture is to study about floating objects and design of ships especially. Okay? And then marine engineering is to study about engines, machinery, pumps, pipings, all of the mechanical things inside the ship, in the vessels, also offshore floating structures. Because these are usually islands, mini islands. Once they are into ocean, they have to equip it with all electrical, mechanical, instrumentation, and as well as naval things we should provide to them, right? So mechanical engineer, they usually go on to the ship. They aspire to become chief engineers, which is almost equal to captain. Captain will be mainly into navigation, but the chief engineer is mainly looking after the marine equipment and maintenance of the marine equipment in the middle of the ocean. Okay, that is marine engineering. And then ocean engineering is to study about the oil rigs, offshore renewable energy, subsea pipelines, underwater drones. All those things come under ocean engineering. That is related to waves and currents in the ocean. And then oceanography is a science. It is not engineering discipline, where they understand how the ocean currents will evolve, how the waves will approach the coast. They are basically on the larger aspect. And also they study, there are different classifications within the oceanography, physical oceanography, chemical oceanography. So biological oceanography, something like that. There are some 4 disciplines. Yes, can be, yes. Environmental and also physical oceanography is not, yeah, kind of environmental for sure. That is oceanography. Did I miss anything? Yeah, I think I explained 4. Marine sciences is also about studying the fishes, coral reefs. That is also into environmental science.
Which part of marine engineering will be there in this program, in our program?
We speak in a very broad level, not in detail. For example, my bachelor course is naval architecture and marine engineering. So it's more like 80% of naval architecture, 20% of marine engineering. But here at IIT Madras, we have naval architecture and ocean engineering. So mainly it is mix of naval architecture and ocean engineering. So here, even for a naval architect, they have to understand about sizing the marine engine. So what we do, we try to calculate the ship resistance and try to get the engine requirement, like what should be the power. We stop there. We don't go in.
Outside only.
Outside only.
Module only you will
To
be-
select the engine, but we don't design marine engine.
That's again another platform.
Yes, maintenance and understanding the marine equipment is part of marine engineering. Yeah. So we already discussed briefly about why naval architecture and why ocean engineering. We deal with the ship designs and offshore structures. Yeah, and also marine technologies, right? And then why in IIT? Because you see there are only 2 BTech programs offered among the IITs. It's very rarely available in all engineering colleges. I can give you an example. IIT Kharagpur has naval architecture, IIT Madras has naval architecture, that's all. And then Indian Maritime University, that is also Central University in Vizag, that has naval architecture. And then QSAT, Cochin University has naval architecture, and Andhra University has naval architecture. And there are very few private colleges which are not very well known. Amit University also in Chennai has naval architecture. So these are the colleges that they offer naval architecture, but there is a huge demand in future because India and also the world is focusing on the maritime activities, for the sustainable maritime activities, as well as to have a blue economy, right? What are the careers? We have, as of now, there are traditional naval architecture deals with ship design, but now the AI, digital twins, and autonomous ships are also coming into picture. So you can also, it's highly interdisciplinary topic now. So naval architecture, like I mentioned, it is an island. The ship is an island. So we should know about all the engineering components that come in picture, right? So we should have a knowledge of electrical engineering, we should have a knowledge of piping, we should have a knowledge of machinery, and we should also have a knowledge of steel structures, because the hull is made with steel, the ship hull is made with steel, correct? So what you will do as a naval architect, you will design the ships or underwater bodies or offshore structures, and then you build them in the shipyards, where you can also be an engineer there to do survey for the ships and to manage the shipbuilding, and also to go the sea trails after ship is finalized, it is constructed. And then offshore structures, for example, oil rigs and wind farms, and then also underwater vehicles, marine robotics. So these are the different areas. The list goes on, but these are the primary areas. I know that your eyes will go to the bottom part for now, what is the package, but these packages are like subjected to market risk. I can't promise them. Okay, you have to carefully invest on this by deciding what is the discipline about, right? So you can be in defense, you can become an Indian Navy officer, you can work in a DRDO as a scientist. We have a lab, Naval Science Technology Laboratory in Visakhapatnam. It is a very huge lab where they have 500 meters long towing tank. So imagine we have a 500 meters long tank, 10 meters width, and then you put a ship in that tank and then we test before it deploys into the sea. We also have similar equipment here at IIT Madras. We are blessed with that. I'm going to tell about them in subsequent slides. All right. These are different areas again where you can get some lucrative packages, but I can't guarantee that all of them will come for campus interview, okay? Because most of the campus interviews at the moment, they are from data science, AI. Very few come for the core companies. But if you're good in your discipline, if you're interested, if you're excited from this bench, there are opportunities for sure.
In order to career, actually, maybe I don't know if that's right or wrong. Is fossil energies again is a big thing. So oils and rigs and all, maybe it might deplete over a period.
Yes.
So the offshores and all, most of the countries, European countries are going against it actually.
Yeah.
So even Indian government of India is taking Sagarmala for transportation. But how far it is going to help us in this particular career path?
Oil rigs, I
put that LPA.
understood. And offshore rigs, I don't agree that they will distinct in near future. They will be there for next 100 years, but they will slowly go down probably. But that will be replaced by renewable energies, right? Now we have already used land more or less to get the wind energy, to get the solar energy. The future is that to put these solar panels into the ocean, use that area. So the moment you put the solar panels on the ocean, we have waves, we have currents, then we have to ensure that the solar panel stays at the location. So that job is again belongs to ocean engineers and naval architects. So it's just changing the job type, but we will have definitely some work for there. Also offshore wind turbines. So we have used enough land already. Maybe it is good that if you keep in the offshore. So yeah.
How about digital twins also? There is you mentioned the previous slide, digital twins. Is there related directly with this, or it is physics where we can?
It is directly related to the physics. It is.
That is physics. In this particular program, is there, sir?
We don't teach as such a digital twin separately. It's part of curriculum. We take whenever it is needed and then explain what is that and how we can get it. But we don't teach AI digital twins separately. Okay. That belongs to the different departments. But we try to mix it with our requirements. So we have like a course called Marine Autonomous Ship Design, something like that. So there we teach about autonomy. So there these control systems, AI will come in place, right? We also use lots of artificial neural networks to optimize the ship design problem, okay? I can give an example about digital twin. For example, we have ports, right? When ship enters to the port, it is landlocked, or it is open to sea where you have a lot of sediments coming in, then there is a less depth available, right? But ships are very big. Can anyone guess here what is the size of ship? The largest ship size? Just make a random guess.
Close to a kilometer.
Close to a kilometer is too high. We haven't went to that place, but almost close, I would say. Say 500 meters, let us say. So it's 4 times of football court. Just imagine the order of size. So when such a ship is entering into the port, the depth will be around 40 meters, 30 meters. Then you have to provide that navigable depth, right? We dredge it, and we try to accommodate the ships. But the bottom is not rock sometimes. We have sand, mud, and that will always bury the navigation channel. Then you have to do this dredging again and again. right? So what we do, we model that in computer. We simulate. We take all the physics about that, we simulate, and then we make a simulator, navigation simulator. We can make a simulator wherein we can predict how long does it take to bury that navigable channel. Accordingly, we can plan the dredging, or we do some optimization studies and then try to avoid dredging as much as possible, right? So that is called digital twin. Before we do things, we already analyze in the computer. And when the ship enters, even captain will have an idea how ship behaves in such environment. That can also be simulated in the computer that and can be kept in ship, right? All right, so that is about naval architecture, why you should take, if you're interested, if you're excited, if this topic excites you, I would recommend you to take, irrespective of packages and what will happen in future, because future is not guaranteed. Everything can change with small scenario, we never know, right? So go with your interests, go with your excitement, I would say. So from now, I will discuss about department, and then I will discuss about the department programs and what are the courses that we offer, and I'll also tell what we teach in those courses so that you will know what you will study in future, right? If you're good at physics, at certain topics you can relate whether this is your topic or not. And then I will also introduce about our laboratories and infrastructure. So in future, maybe if you join, you can do all lab works over there. And then we have a research centers, and then we also have, I have a slide about the placements and alumni. All right, let's start with department introduction. So department has started around 1977 as a center. It was not a department initially. Center means there are no students. We don't offer any degrees when it's a center, but students will work for the research. So this part of, previously it was part of civil engineering. All the equipment was there in civil engineering, then moved as a center. In 1990s, major experimental facilities were developed in collaboration with Germany, as far as I remember. Then we developed wave-based and stowing tanks. I'm going to explain what are they.
the different labs. Then research areas is there. I will just leave you to look at the same picture. Basic picture. What are the different engineering disciplines that we can get in? Why sparse and why spectrum? So if you have any question about any of these areas, you can still ask.
సౌండ్ పక్క నిమిషం సౌండ్ ఇல்லாமல் போயிட்டு நான் மறு போயிருந்தேன்னா என்னது
Most of the courts in India, IIT Madras,
சொல்லியிருக்கேன்
our professor involved in designing those reports actually. This is having protection and approach to prevent the erosion, sea erosion.
So in the previous slide, the blue economy is related to the minerals or?
No, blue economy is related to the port and harbor and sustainable shipping.
There are some underwater minerals or the exploration of the minerals.
That also comes into practice. Nodules, offshore nodules. Recently they have been famous. To extract the nodules from the caves. This happens.
sorry enough. You get the mic back. Like, once you keep it back, put it back on charge.
Startups. And our IIT Madras will allow you to open your own startup. And IIT Madras, if your idea is good,
I just need to change the mic, sorry that
Yeah, no
battery
problem.
went.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so if you have a crazy ideas which can be marketized or capitalized, then you can also think of it. You don't need to just stop at the job searching, but you can also be an employer rather than employee. This is a National Technological Center for Ports, Waterways and Coast. This is a huge lab. Can anyone guess the dimensions of this lab? Previously, we have seen a wave basin which is 30 meters by 30 meters and 3 meters depth. Yes, more or less. So it's 90 meters long. So you can make a 100-meter race here, and then 60 meters wide, or 30 meters if I remember correctly. Yeah. So this is also to study shallow water behavior mostly. No. It is in Chennai, in Thayur campus. We have an offshore campus. I don't know much about geotech. Yeah, it's in Thayur. I know that. Yes. Yeah. So this is a newly constructed circulation channel. This is to study ships with wind-exposed equipment. This is basically to reduce the fuel consumption for the ships. So we have sails here. Previously, ships were sailed using sails, right? We use the wind energy to move forward. And we do have such equipment. And to study the interaction between fluid and also this air, we have a circulation channel with water that is flowing, and then we also have air that is flowing on top of it. Then we try to understand the flow around the ships, and then we try to understand the physics behind it. Sorry. We almost reached the end about placements and alumni. So first to start with alumni. Our alumni are very reputed, and they are from different backgrounds. You can see it is a wide range. And then one example is that she went to postdoctoral in Purdue University, so you can pursue into PhD or research. You can also open a startup, and then it's completely not relevant to Navalak, but that's up to you. And then we have a founder who studies the stock market, and then we have chief engineer, and then we have a director from NIOT, National Institute of Ocean Technology in Chennai. So these are some of the famous companies that they come here to recruit our students. Most of them are core companies. We haven't shown here the.
What about the internship opportunities? Because no, as far as my knowledge, India doesn't have that big vessel builder. If I'm not wrong. But moreover, that technology we borrow from here from Europe or even from Chinese.
Mhm.
And if at all we want to do internship,
Mhm.
the possibility is limited only with the PSUs.
Not true. There are many companies that we can go and work. For example, L&T is working vastly in renewable energy and also offshore engineering and shipbuilding. And ExxonMobil that works in offshore, that is in Bangalore, that's also a very big company. But among PSUs, there are big shipyards, like Cochin Shipyard is very big, and we have Goa Shipyard, Hindustan Shipyards.
Again, the PSU is only the maximum internship possibilities, right? Whereas when compared to the other departments,
Mhm.
maybe my understanding is wrong. I mean, very few only, in terms of vessel designer or manufacturer oriented origin from Indian.
That is growing now. We have enough infrastructure. We do not have, I wouldn't say enough infrastructure. We have many shipyards in India. I don't remember exact number, but we have many shipyards and they're expanding quite rapidly now because government is supporting a lot of funds to shipbuilding. We realize that country needs the shipbuilding now. So government is boosting that money now, but internship is different. So our students,
The placements actually, placements as you said, it is a different ballgame.
Hmm.
Prior to placement, internship opportunity should be there, whereas no.
they do have, some of the students will also go abroad to do internships. They are not restricted to only to the country. But at the same time, I don't downgrade our country as well. We do have a lot of companies available around.
I'm asking what are the possibilities of internship within India for
We do have both. There are a lot of opportunities we can choose.
core.
Core, yes. We do also have a lot of autonomy companies. If you are interested into marine robotics, there are many startups that have evolved. You can also go to startups. Some people also choose to go different branches like AI and other companies.
There is always always a possibility there. I'm talking. I want to go into the core precisely on naval architecture.
Yes.
I mean engineering.
Yes.
In the sense that the opportunity should be there for us.
There are plenty of opportunities for
Vizag,
sure.
Vizag,
Yes. Hindustan Shipyard
Vizag,
Limited.
Goa is there.
Yes.
But again, PSUs. The entry to PSUs as an internship is limited.
No, it is not. As long as student is interested, they can get permission to go for internship. Yeah, sure.
If you are looking at only shipbuilding industry, yes,
Not shipbuilding, naval and this engineering precisely.
there are a lot of opportunity. I am coming from one of the industry which is listed down there. We do recruit naval engineers.
Not for placement, I'm asking. Placement second. I'm asking.
Internship also available.
No, I can confirm that there is a lot of opportunities for internship. Like he mentioned, we have a lot of, usually students also go. You can tell me if you want. Yeah. Yes.
That's
Yes.
what PSUs, what was doubt of PSUs major, stakeholder in India, I guess actually. Am I wrong also?
No, that is true. As of now, most of the shipbuilding is happening under PSUs and mostly it is Indian Navy works, but now it is changing. The government is pushing to get the commercial vehicles. The Cochin is trying to get more commercial vehicles rather than Indian Navy dependence. So even the GRSC, Golden Research Shipbuilding, that's in Kolkata. We have HSL, Hindustan Shipyard Limited. We have L&T here in Kattupalli. Mesgondok Limited in Mumbai. Yeah, there are many shipbuilding companies. Even the small scale companies are also there. Yeah, there's huge potential. There's huge opportunities. It's only we have a different problem. You're thinking that there are lack of opportunities, but we think that the lack of students. Many people are going to AI and data science and other things.
My criteria is not for this one. I want to, if it is also core, we have to be in exactly in a core.
Correct.
Don't deviate in that.
I agree. I live in the same ideal world, but students doesn't agree with that.
Ocean means ocean. Don't think about the
True.
multiple salary, money double and all.
Yes.
Be in that, precise in that.
Yeah, we have a live example. I asked my student, are you interested in core? Then he said, maybe 70%, 30% in core. So, yeah, so we have to accept the fact the world is changing. That's how market is evolving. I think I don't blame anyone here. But if you're interested in core, there are plenty of opportunities, but we have to find. They won't come to us, like in AI data science currently. Yeah, you may get, maybe in 3-4 years, everything might change. I can't guarantee anything. No one can, I would say. But future is there for sure. And I wanted to mention that as long as Earth exists, water will be there, water bodies will be there. This is never-ending discipline. AI may disappear one day, but ocean will not disappear.
Humankind may disappear.
Yes. All right. So I conclude here. And then if you have any doubts or questions, I don't know why they kept black bug here. They can't answer. I have to answer. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, feel free to ask any questions that you have, or you want to discuss something, or you want to add something on this. I'm open to talk. Or we end session, I will come down, then we can interact more naturally. And I would like to thank my students who helped me to make this presentation and also organize this event. Yeah, a small applause to them. Yes, yeah,
Thank you for your time. Thank you for the presentation.
yeah.
I think it
Thank
was
you.
very much to the point, very precise,
Yeah.
very detailed. Thank you for that. I don't want to hijack your presentation here. I'm a naval architect myself.
Nice.
Graduated from Karnataka 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And to give a sense of confidence to the kids over here,
Yes.
it's a fantastic field to be in. I know your friends may say, "Arey, what naval architect?" But I got this feeling 35 years ago when I joined in Karnataka. People made fun of me. That's all right. But I can make fun of those people today if I want. So please don't think it's some lowly department. It's a fantastic department. There are super specialties you can get into. And in terms of packages, you'll make more money than you will need. I promise you that.
It's a long-term game,
You
I
will
would
make
say.
enough money, more money than you will need, seriously. Don't think, oh, I may get up to the place where I won't make much money, I'll struggle and all that. That's all nonsense. If you stay to the core, like somebody was saying, if you stick to the core, become specialists in the core, you will make more money than you need. It's a fantastic group to be in. And Dr. Praveen made a very good presentation of all the specialties that are there. Each one of them is a micro specialty. Each one of them you can mint money if you want. And the opportunities are all over the world. I mean, I've traveled to every part of the world. I've worked in every part of the world. There's opportunities everywhere. You want to go live in Africa, South America, North America, Europe, China, Southeast Asia, India, wherever.
So,
There's
small
so
question,
many.
being as a
Sorry, I
senior,
don't mean to hijack.
No, no, I'm happy that somebody is supporting. Yeah.
I just want to get an experience from you. Because what as a now you're an old generation. These kids are now not used to it. Go for hard working, sit in the computer, work as a white collar job. But naval architecture, I feel maybe it's a partially white collar or blue collar job. So we used to keep on travel. We used to keep on.
You can choose to be.
It's
if you want to be
health
only
issues
design-
might be there. In your younger ages, older years, do you feel any kind of stability in your health condition
Not at all.
because of this kind of
Not at all. I mean, I run marathons. So,
I do as well.
you are exception. You are exception.
No, no, no. Seriously.
Compared with the current kids, actually.
No,
This, current kids.
see, within this specialization, if you want to get into only design, if your interest is in design,
Can you get some water?
it becomes a white collar
I'll
job.
take this. I
If
used
you want
this
to
one.
be in
Thank
the
you.
field, you want to get construction, I do design and construction, then you're in the shipyard or you're offshore, living offshore with you. You want to do maintenance and production, you're living on the rig offshore. So there's so many options.
But I want to address this. Many people think that if you go to shipyard, especially for women, they think that they have to go to the field and they have to go into the ship. It is a labor work, but it's not. Naval architects are engineers.
It is why I asked this question. So it's not even they can sit in the port and all, no? That humidity or that sea,
Yeah.
let's say, that atmosphere, climate, no, may not suit these kids.
But so we are living in Chennai, which is also exposed to sea.
It's hard work, but you make good money. There is no free lunch.
That's
If you make
exactly.
good money, you
Yes,
want to work
that's a
hard.
pain.
Not only money, it also excites me as a ship designer. At least for me, it excites a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I designed 2 or 3 ships when I was working in industry, and they're floating now. Then I had a satisfaction that I have done something. That is different, that you won't get from the money.
And it's a very capital intensive industry. Some of the projects, I've managed more than $1 billion worth of projects in my career. So some of these rigs, each rig will be 300,
Yeah,
400
what
million.
Yes.
is the curse is that the Indian market is not so strong, in this industry. They are
Not
dependent
anymore.
on any other.
Not anymore.
Another,
The slides that he showed for the recruiters, most of them are recruiting in India.
I'm not saying as a recruiting placement, not that perspective. Say for example, in software, we got some gold, and even the electrical or some other thing. But marine, I feel this is some sort of curse with except PSU.
Job opportunities in India.
In fact, sell outside